What's up, gang? Welcome back to Pretty Girl Gang TV, where we do nothing but conduct pretty girl business. Okay, it's your girl Jeanina here, and I am back with another video for you guys. And today's video has been anticipated. Okay, I'm super excited because we're going to be trying out the new Jones Road Beauty WTF foundation. So if you guys want to see that, keep on watching. Alright, you guys, so like I said, we are going to be testing out the new Jones Road Beauty WTF, or What the F foundation. Now, this foundation doesn't really have so many claims. As you guys know, the owner, Bobbi Brown, who is a part of Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, started this entire new line, and I thought it was so interesting. As soon as it dropped, I set my alarm, girl, and I ended up buying the product. So I did purchase the shade Cinnamon, and I will swatch that for you guys like I normally do to see if it is my correct shade. But first, I want to get into the packaging. So like I said, this item doesn't have that many claims. It's supposed to be a balm foundation, maybe a tinted, it looks like a tinted sheer foundation. I haven't watched any videos because you guys know I don't like to watch other reviews until I do mine because I want to be completely surprised. So this baby has had a little bit of controversy all over TikTok and all over YouTube. It's like rated the worst foundation, okay? But we are going to test that out. So like I said, I have the shade Cinnamon, and this is how the shade Cinnamon looks. So it's in a little container here. And one thing I will say about it is that I like the way it looks. It's very sleek, it's very luxurious. You guys know me. I'm all about aesthetics and packaging and stuff. And I do think, I heard a lot of people didn't like it because, you know, you have to be dipping your brush or your finger or whatever in and out of the container, and it's like considered unsanitary. But I do like that. I do like how it looks and how it's in the little tub. Also with this foundation, I did purchase the spatula because of the container. So this is how the spatula looks. Now the spatula is sold separately. It has Jones Road printed there, and I just think it was just a perfect little touch. It just adds something to the brand. It just makes it seem more luxurious. So I feel like with this packaging, you are gonna need the spatula because like I said, it's deemed pretty unsanitary if you have to continuously dip a brush or your finger into the container. So this is how the packaging looks here. And once you open it, it does have a seal. And pulling the seal off, okay, so this is the color. Ooh. Okay, so mine looks a little, I don't know, it looks a little separated. So it looks like we're gonna have to mix it with the spatula, and there's some on here too. So like I said, I'm in the color, well, I purchased the color Cinnamon. I wasn't sure actually what color to get, y'all, because y'all know how I am with foundations online. It's hard to match myself, so I chose the color Cinnamon. I am a little darker now that it's summertime and I've been out, you know, so I think even though it looks a little dark in the pan, I think it's gonna work. So I'm just gonna take this spatula and I'm going to stir it up. And right off the bat, y'all, like I will say, it does have a very faint scent. It smells kind of like a spa, maybe like Aveda. Have you guys ever heard of Aveda, like skincare? Maybe like that. It smells like there's just a bunch of essential oils in it. So hopefully that's not the case when we put this on our face. Cause I mean, I don't mind the smell, but I know a lot of people don't like fragrance when it comes to your makeup. And also it is getting very messy. So I mean, despite me, cause I personally like this container, I feel like it gives it kind of a luxurious look. I can understand why people are saying that they don't like this container because it can get very messy really quick. So I'm actually going to swatch it first before we get into it and before we prime our face, just so we can see what the color looks like. That's what I normally do. So let me turn to the side here. So this is the color Cinnamon on me. So as you can see, it's a tad bit dark, But this foundation is supposed to be a balmy, kind of like a tinted foundation. I heard from the grapevine it's more like a moisturizing foundation, so it's supposed to be very, very light. So the pigments are so sheer that it's supposed to kind of spread across a number of shades. So hopefully that's the case because it is a little bit darker, but I think we can make it work. So for primer today, I was going to use my Bobbi Brown face base. I mean, I feel like I've been using this on a regular lately, but because that foundation just feels very bouncy but very balmy at the same time, I'm gonna be honest, like I don't know how this is gonna go because I don't like putting moisturizing primers on with foundations like this because I am naturally an oily girl, so I feel like I don't know, I have a feeling this isn't gonna go too well. So we're all primed, and you guys know me, okay? If you guys watch my makeup videos, you guys know I do not like to put makeup on with my fingers. So this foundation recommends putting it on with your fingers versus a makeup brush or a sponge. You guys know that I'm a brush girl here. I don't really use sponges. I'm going to still apply it with a brush because I just cannot stand the like thought of makeup getting on my hands and my nails. It's just very, very messy to me. So I'm gonna use this spatula and whatever is left on this spatula here, and I'm just gonna kind of spread it around my face, and we'll see what that gets us as far as coverage. Ooh, and yeah, it is getting pretty messy, so it's getting all over my hands now. The smell, ooh, and the smell is kind of, I mean, it's not strong, but it's definitely there. So I am going to use a Morphe brush. I chose this brush. This is the Morphe M439. I chose this brush just because it's very dome-like and it's kind of dense. So maybe that'll give us the most coverage because I know this foundation is more like a tinted moisturizer, not so much a foundation. So we'll buff it out with this and see what we get. And like I said, the smell is definitely there, but it's not too bad. But it definitely does have kind of like a strong essential oil smell. I'll tell you that. Ooh, and I like the way, so the color is a bit dark, but I do like the way it looks, but I don't like the way it feels. It is very tacky. So I feel like if I were to like touch my shirt, like you know how sometimes you touch your chin to your shirt, it's gonna like rub off, and it does feel kind of heavy. So like I said, using the Bobbi Brown face base as a base, I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have used more of a mattifying primer. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. I don't feel like it's covering much, but understand that this foundation is supposed to be kind of like more on the skincare light side, or sheer to light coverage side. So we'll try to keep it that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little confused, okay, because I like the way it looks. I've been feeling the dewy look lately, the dewy or natural looking skin, your skin but better look. I've been feeling that, so I do like the way it looks. However, I do not like, I don't know, I do not like the coverage. I do not like the feel of it. It just feels very, I don't know. I feel like it did cover up some, but it's very tacky. It's very tacky, very sticky. I feel like this is gonna transfer a whole lot. Yeah, it's sticky. So I don't like that. Ugh. Dare I try to use my fingers? Dare I try, girl? Okay, I'm gonna try to use my finger over here, and we'll see how that feels. Yeah, see, for me, using my fingers, unless I'm in a rush or something, using my fingers is not a thing. But we're just gonna try and see what it feels like using your fingers. And I mean, I feel like, to be honest, I feel like I'm getting the same amount of coverage with my finger as I would. Ooh, I think I put too much right there. With the brush. Okay, so I know this foundation is very controversial, and I'm trying to avoid just being one of those girls that's jumping on the bandwagon. I'm really trying to give it my personal like review and really review it, but I am truly confused because I mean, it's giving me coverage. I do have hyperpigmentation and acne, so it did definitely give me some coverage, but it didn't give me a lot. But again, this is kind of a tinted moisturizer balm type of foundation, so I do understand the purpose of it. I feel like with foundations like these are kind of for dry girls, if you're definitely a dry girl, and then if you don't have any like blemishes, you basically have like perfect skin and you just want a little bit of coverage here and a little bit of coverage there. Yeah, like I don't think this would be personally for me. Let me see, I have some acne marks here, as you guys can see. Let's see if we can at least cover that with a little bit more of this foundation. Definitely, I'm using another brush now. Now I'm using the Sephora 88 brush, just for reference, just to see if we can kind of get some more coverage. And you know what? That gave me a little bit more coverage. So maybe it's the brush that you use. The Sephora 88 brush is a little bit more denser and the bristles are a little bit more packed in. So maybe you just need a denser brush in order to achieve a more coverage look, right? So like I said, now that I kind of built up the coverage, I do like it. I like the coverage because I get it. I have tinted moisturizers, but I feel like I have tinted moisturizers that do a lot better than this. So I'm not gonna put any more on. I feel like this is giving me probably the maximum amount of coverage that it's gonna give me. I know this foundation is not geared towards coverage because I watched Bobbi Brown's little spiel on this foundation, and she basically said that she doesn't really like the look of foundation, so she wanted to create something that was more of a skin type of look. And so I understand that. Like, I have tinted moisturizers and balms that also mimic that skin like, but because I have issues with my skin, like I have hyperpigmentation, I have sometimes texture unevenness, and I am oily, I probably would need a little bit more of a coverage. So I'm not mad at that, but honestly, I feel like this foundation is very sticky and it's going to transfer. Like, that's how I feel. This would probably be your best bet in the winter time, not the summertime. But anyway, I'm gonna try to do the rest of my face. To be honest, like, I don't know how my makeup is gonna turn out because this is just so, not only is it balmy and heavy, but as you can see, it's very greasy. It looks greasy, you know? So, I'm actually going to use a different concealer. I thought I was going to use the Lip Bar's Caffeine Concealer, but I think I'm going to use a concealer that is more on the sheer to light medium side, because I feel like the concealer would show through more. So the only concealer that I have that's on the same level as this, like a sheer to light medium, is the Morphe 2 concealer. And to be honest, y'all, like, I don't want to use the lightest one. I have 2 shades. This one is my lightest one because I just feel like the concealer is going to be more heavier than the foundation, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to stick to a more foundation that can kind of meet, or concealer that can kind of meet this foundation at its level, you know? So I'm going to use the Morphe 2, and I'm gonna use a little bit. So my concealer is on, and girl, I'm having second thoughts of even setting it because I just feel like I am very greasy, oily. I feel like the concealer, I feel like I chose right when it came to the concealer. So if you're going to use this foundation, I would recommend a concealer that will meet it at its level. So like a sheer to light coverage, and the Morphe 2 is really good for that, like I said. But I'm about to set my concealer, and I'm gonna use my Sacha Buttercup in the color light. And ooh, I'm a little skeptical because as you can see, it's really dewy. Okay, we're really shiny. So I feel like when you mattify your under eye and you have this shininess, it just looks really weird. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Gonna use a tad bit of Hourglass's Espresso foundation stick just to bronze and contour a little bit. Y'all, listen to me. Listen, I just applied my bronzer, right? And it literally, I mean, you can see it, but I feel like it literally just melted into the foundation, and now I just feel really icky. Like, I feel really greasy. Does this look greasy to y'all? It just looks really freaking greasy, especially with the powder down under eyes. I just feel like, ooh, it looks really greasy. So this would definitely be a like dewy look. I would definitely have to powder down this look. And I don't even think it would look good powder down because I feel like my under eyes look very suspect powder down. Let me use my foundation brush to kind of smooth everything out. My nose is shiny. I just feel like too much is going on. For mascara, I'm going to use Merit's mascara. I'm not going to apply any falsies. And for lips, I'm going to use my favorite combo that I've been using probably every day for like natural looks like this summer. Juvia's Place's lip liner, and then Merit Beauty's tinted lip oil. Okay, girl, so this is the final look that I was able to achieve with the Jones Road Beauty What the F foundation. Now, I have some thoughts, okay, on this foundation. I feel very uncomfortable with this on my face. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I can feel every single drop, every single, like, bit of foundation on my face. It's very sticky. It's very tacky. As soon as let me get a little eye patch out so you guys can see. This is just like little eye patches I do to use or to do eyeshadow with. Literally, it's going to transfer. Okay, this foundation, it's going to transfer, so I don't like that. It's very sticky. It's very tacky. It does feel heavy on my skin. Now, I will say, if you're a dry girl, this is going to be good if you don't have any hyperpigmentation, any texture, any type of problems with your skin. This is definitely a foundation, I believe, that is for someone with pretty much perfect skin, and you just want like a little tint of this and a little tint of that. You know, it's definitely not covering much. Did it give me some coverage? Yes, it did. But my skin is a little bit more better than it's been in its recent months because I've been doing a lot of facials and stuff. So my acne is not as bad. So I can only imagine if I was like full-on hyperpigmented out. If that's even a word, okay? Because you guys have seen me on this channel go through different skin issues and different phases of my hyperpigmentation. Now, if it was like full on, this would definitely not work. But I will say that this is buildable, but you're gonna have to be careful because the more you put on, the more it's just heavy, sticky, and tacky, and greasy, as you can see. I feel like there's a difference from dewy to greasy, and I feel like I definitely look greasy. It's only been about 20 minutes since I've had this foundation on, and I feel like if my natural oils were to come out, it's done. Okay, it's definitely gonna be done. This will definitely not last on me at all. Therefore, if you are going to purchase this foundation and you are an oily girl, I would suggest, like I said in the beginning, using a primer that is not moisturizing. So I use the Bobbi Brown face base, but in this case, I think I would use a more mattifying primer in order to kind of balance the two. Because if you're putting on something this balmy, and you see I keep touching it because my skin, I'm not even going to go out with this foundation. I can't. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I can't. I feel like I look a greasy mess, and I feel like I look horrible. I know some girls don't use primer, some girls use sunscreen or moisturizer. I feel like if you were to even use something like that, this is not going to layer well with. It's just going to probably melt, and I think that's what it's doing. I feel like it's just melting because it does have some essential oils in it. And some of the essential oils, Bobbi Brown quoted this herself in her video about this. Some of the oils that are in here are meant to kind of emulsify into the skin. So with that being said, having kind of a moisturizing primer is just not gonna be a thing, especially here in Virginia in 95-degree humidity and weather. Okay, this is not going to last on me at all. Also, my hair is sticking to it and everything. Like, yeah, this is just not for me. So, it's not for me, but that doesn't mean it's not for you, girls. So, anyway, that is my thoughts on the Jones Road What the F foundation. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to the channel, girl. And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time the gang posts a video. Okay, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.